thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
Hey yo, and welcome to the Reveal It Rob Show. I am your host, Reveal It Rob, coming at you with a brand new episode full of the latest news and happenings in my world, man. Hope everybody out there's been doing good. Hope you've had a good weekend coming into this new show. Hope you have enjoyed the Thrill Me Podcast Network's releases already this week with the Metal Groove and Haunters podcast, which I got to frickin' guest host on, man. So I guess that's one of the things I've been up to since the last time we talked. I got to be a guest host of the wonderful Haunters podcast show, man. And I've been on the show a couple times before, but never in like a guest host role, and never as confident as I was, I guess I'd say. The other times I've been on the Haunters podcast show, I felt kind of very, I don't know if out of place is like the word, but it's just like, a little nervous, man. But this time I went in there and I felt very confident, very good, man. You can check out that episode as well as a new episode of the Metal Groove where they're talking about one of my all-time favorite movies, That Thing You Do. That's my brother's show. Speaking of my brother, I got to see him do his thing, rocking the drums, hitting the skins this weekend in his new band, man. He did awesome. They sounded great. Can't wait to see more of their shows. And speaking of shows and my brother and Honors Podcast, be sure to follow the Thrill Me Podcast Network on Facebook, on YouTube. We've all got our Instagrams, man. We've some of us have Twitters, but man, join us, follow us, help us grow on the Facebook and most importantly the YouTube, where we've got all of our podcasts there. We've got live videos, we got trailer reactions, we've got me playing video games, you got Zach playing video games, man. Tell you what, I loaded a video game last week showing off a pack for DLC pack for WWE 2K22, and I'm planning on doing that again for this week as they have a new pack coming out for the game. Speaking of the WWE, I do talk that sometimes on this show. They had a pay-per-view over the weekend, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which I thought honestly was a really solid event. It's no longer called a pay-per-view, it's called a premium event. I gotta remember that after all these years of calling it a pay-per-view. It's a premium event now, and I honestly enjoyed every match, man. I thought the event was solid. I had no real issues with anything that happened, and man, bravo to Cody freaking Rhodes, toughing it out. He wrestled with a torn pectoral muscle, like completely torn off the bone, and he wrestled through it, man. Much props and love to him. He will be out for who knows how long. He teased some Money in the Bank stuff, which is the next pay-per-view tonight. He teased that, but he was attacked by Seth Rollins tonight in a gruesome way, and I have no problem with him continuing that feud. I'm somebody who's been watching wrestling for years and years and years, and I know that feuds last a long time. It's one of those things that happens. It's nothing new, so it's perfectly fine if they're going to do that. I was a little interested in seeing where they would end up going, but I do like the teasing that they're doing with Triple H. Triple H is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, my number 2 favorite wrestler of all time. So I like the idea of the teasing they're doing there, and I can't wait to see where that ends up going, especially when, SummerSlam's a couple months away. So we'll see how everything folds out there. Monday Night Raw, very interesting tonight with the Judgment Day. Don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen. Monday Night Raw yet, but very interesting stuff happening there. But that was my WWE talk here. Maybe I'll do a wrestling show. I've been threatening that for a while. Who knows? But this show, I talk about all kinds of things, man, and that is what I like to do is WWE talk. So, other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the news. Actually, let me jump into this first because it's going to be the. Go ahead and get this out of the way. I planned on having a review for this episode. Had a movie picked out. Was going to watch it before Monday Night Raw came on tonight. That's what I typically do. And I started watching it. And, because that's the plan. I'll start watching it. Monday Night Raw comes on. Once Raw's over, I'll finish watching the movie. Then I'll record. To be honest with you, I had no desire to go back and watch this movie at the moment. I will, of course, finish it because I never review a movie without fully seeing it. With that said, the movie I picked was The Northman. It is off on Peacock. It was between that and the Ambulance movie, which are also on Peacock. And, I started The Northman and I was like, I'm about 30 minutes into it. And it's not grabbing me, man. It's not getting my attention. The Northman is like Viking-esque kind of thing with maybe some Game of Thrones feels to it and all that stuff. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's not grabbing me. And of course I still have more time to go. I'm only 30 minutes in. Of course, maybe, we're building stuff up, but at the same time, I've seen some things going on. And I'm like, it's a little brutal, but I don't know. I'll have a full review for it. Obviously, I will not have that on next week's episode because there's a big movie coming out this week that I will be talking about later in the segment of what's releasing this week. But yeah, man, The Northman right now is not faring too well. What I did watch, though, over the weekend is I finally, for the first time since seeing it in theaters, watched one of my all-time favorite films of last year. um, I'm, of course, talking about Cruella. Cruella was one of my favorite films, was my favorite film of 2021 until Tick Tick Boom came out and surprised the heck out of me and took over that spot. But I finally watched Cruella again. It's on Disney Plus, and still absolutely love and adore that movie. What a fantastic job they did with that. I can't wait to see part two. Now, moving forward, let's get into the news and talk about things I can't wait to see. I'm going to cue up a audio clip here. Let's check this out. That right there was the sound, the audio, if you will. I mean, if you will, it was obviously audio. That was the audio for the official teaser trailer to the Wednesday Addams Tim Burton directed show that is hitting Netflix, man. Oh my God, am I so excited for this? You already know. You've been listening to the show. You already know how excited I am about the show coming. Huge Addams Family fan, and once they announced that Tim Burton was doing something Addams Family, like, heck, yes, it's going to be a great idea. And then the announcement of the wonderful Jenna Ortega playing the role of Wednesday Addams. Are like, yes, she's incredible. She's become the new Scream Queen, one of the new Scream Queens. And, I'm completely and utterly excited about it. And then, we're just waiting for more information and then more casting news to come out and all that stuff. Last week, we got our first look at Thing. That was our first glimpse of what the show would kind of look like. And you got the first look at Thing. That is, of course, the hand in the Addams Family that, moves around by itself. And it was all, scarred up and stitched up and all that. We're like, oh, that looks awesome. And then finally today we got the teaser trailer for the Wednesday Addams show, starring, again, of course, the incredible Jenna Ortega. I'm going to have more news on her in a moment. But man, I want you to go check out that trailer because it is just, you heard the audio there. The audio is so great and just spooky, like you would want for an Addams Family thing. And then you just see her and you see her look as Wednesday, and you're like, yes, nailed it. That's going to be perfect right there. You already know how amazing she is. If you don't know how amazing she is, go watch her films, including X, a movie that is in the running for my favorite film of the year. She is incredible in pretty much everything I've seen her in, even the moments that she was in the Studio 666 movie that came out this year, another horror movie that came out this year. Another horror movie she was in that came out this year, Scream. We're going to be talking about that here in a moment. So yes, I implore you. I don't know if implore is the right word. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. Okay. I'm going to Google it and make sure implore is the right word. Implore. Addams beg someone earnestly or desperately to do something. Yes, I implore you to go watch the Wednesday Addams teaser trailer because it is incredible. It's like freaking not even that long. You're just gonna be like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. If you're an Addams Family fan, you're like, yes, this is nailing it, 100%. So yes, Wednesday's first trailer is out now, and this is part of Netflix's Geeked Week, where they're announcing some of the stuff they have coming to their streaming service. So that was the first big thing I saw today. Mike Flanagan's The Midnight Club had its first teaser trailer as well. Mike Flanagan, of course, did The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, and most recently Midnight Mass. Now you're getting The Midnight Club. There you go. That's going to be hitting Netflix October 7th. Back to Wednesday, that is still coming soon. We don't have an official release date for that yet. We've got a One Piece teaser. Shows off how Netflix's adaptation will bring art to life. There you go. You go check out that. We've got the Resident Evil official trailer for Netflix. Resident Evil unleashes the demon dog in latest trailer. There you go with that. You got the Sandman, DC Comics Sandman, coming as well. Finally, we have a proper look at a live-action adaptation of Neil Gaiman's beloved The Sandman. The new trailer is equal parts dark and dreamy. Also comes with a bit of news. The show will hit Netflix on August 5th, so not too long till that. We got a tease of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, which looks awesome. Sweet Tooth Season 2 got an announcement trailer. Lock and Key Season 3 got a teaser trailer. Warrior Nun Season 2 happened. And let's see, filming is wrapped on Shadow and Bone 2. Manifest got a trailer for Season 4. All of Us Are Dead was renewed for Season 2. 1899 official teaser there. And a quick look at Umbrella Academy Season 3, man. So Netflix is gearing up its stuff while people are, wondering about Netflix. It just, of course, had a huge last week with Stranger Things 4 hitting. So, they're doing what they can, man, and following in the steps there. So back to Jenna Ortega, and as I mentioned, Scream 6 we know is on the way. That will be coming March 31st, 2023. And Jenna Ortega recently spoke with Entertainment Tonight and was asked about the sixth film. And apparently, Scream 6 will be the most violent film in the franchise. Quote, Ghostface gets a lot more intimidating. I just read part of the script and it gets more and more gory. I think this is probably the most aggressive and violent version of Ghostface we've ever seen, which I think will be really fun to shoot. That sounds awesome. It's one of my takeaways from Scream 5, and to be fair, I have not gone back and watched the Scream movies in a while. I really honestly couldn't even tell you the last time I've watched Scream 1, 2, 3, or even 4. And, Scream 5, meh, tastes with me. So I'm wondering about Scream 6, and I'm happy that Hayden Panettiere is going to be back. I think it's Panettiere. She's great. Loved her character of Kirby in Scream 4. I like Scream 4 a lot. I know a lot of people are kind of wishy-washy on that, but I do like Scream 4. And, we'll see how Scream 6 ends up going. But hearing that it is a violent version, that's something... getting back to what I was mentioning before until I went on that tangent there. Scream 5 seemed very violent to me. I don't remember the Ghostface films being that violent, but hearing that Scream 6 is even more gory, more gory, double more gory, is very interesting to me. I can't wait to see how that pans out. And again, the movie will be here in 2023. What we do honestly know, and I think kind of surprising news here, Neve Campbell has said she will not be reprising her role as Sidney Prescott. We already know Courtney Cox is returning, but Neve Campbell will not be reprising her role as Sidney Prescott in Scream 6. Now, this was a rumor that was going around over the weekend because apparently Neve Campbell told somebody at, I think it was Monsterpalooza or something like that, a con event over the weekend that she was not going to be in Scream 6, and we're all like, these are rumors, and, from a con, who knows if this is true or not. There's no real videos of her saying it or anything of that matter from what I could tell. But it's officially out now. It's all over the press. Is Neve Campbell saying, quote, sadly, I won't be making the next Scream film. As a woman, I have had to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream. I felt the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value I have brought to the franchise. It's been a very difficult decision to move on. To all my Scream fans, I love you. You've always been so incredibly supportive to me. I'm forever grateful to you and to what this franchise has given me over the past 25 years. Now, just to give some thoughts here, and I know my boy Zach has had his thoughts about Neve Campbell and Sidney Prescott in Scream 6 and what he would like to see happen with Scream 6. Speaking of Zach, let me go ahead and pop this. Booyah! Little speakeasy talk there. I am drinking a Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar. Yeah. Anyways, couple ways to look at this. Yes, Neve Campbell is the star of the Scream franchise. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's Wes's creation, so the Scream franchise is very much Wes. But obviously, Neve Campbell's a star. Sidney Prescott is the story of Scream. It's perfect to tell. Every single movie has to find some way to get back to Sidney Prescott and tie her into it. And very Scream 5, very much just like a cameo role for her. So I was wondering what was Scream 6 going to be? Was it going to be another cameo role and all that? But obviously, she is the star of the franchise. She deserves to be paid respectfully. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Again, don't know what her role would have been in Scream 6. Maybe she's still in it. Maybe this is some kind of ploy to get paid more. Who knows? Anything can happen in the world of Hollyweird. But what I think is a positive spin to this is, like I just mentioned, every single story in the Scream franchise has to weave its way into, oh, let's connect back to Sidney Prescott in some way, shape, or form. Oh, your mom wronged me in some way. Blah, blah, blah. You wronged me some way. I'm going to kill you. It's pretty much what all the Scream films are. So I think now that we pretty much are not going to have Sidney Prescott in the next film, it opens the film up to being more creative and giving them something new to work on, which I think would be very good for the Scream franchise in itself, because you're getting into the 6th film now, and you've got to figure out where you're working here. Yes, Laurie Strode has come back to the Halloween franchise, but the Halloween franchise tried to do something else for a while, and it didn't maybe work, as well. But at least they tried to do something, right? But I mean, I guess Laurie was always kind of a part of the story there. Jamie was her daughter, yada yada yada. But I think it's time for the Scream franchise to figure out something else to do. The TV show, I don't remember being connected to Sidney Prescott at all. I definitely don't remember season 3 because that season stank. But season 1 and 2, I don't think it didn't have anything to do with Sidney Prescott, if I remember correctly. To be fair, if I'm wrong, might be some people yelling at me. Yeah, it did. I don't remember. Honestly, I haven't watched the shows in a long time. Okay. But yeah, I think this is a positive and like a possible negative for people, because like I said, some people are perfectly fine if Sidney Prescott's not in. They're kind of over the Sidney Prescott of it all. Just like some people in the Halloween fans are done with the Laurie Strode of it all, which is insane. It's Jamie Lee Curtis. How could you ever be done with Jamie Lee Curtis? But that's fine. Like, I guess the equivalent to me would be, I'm a huge Chucky fan. I'm tired of the Andy Barclay of it all, which honestly I'm not. It's been nice seeing Andy Barclay back in some way, shape, or form. But I would get it that Chucky, which Chucky did move on at one point in time. It's more of Andy coming after Chucky thing. It's not Chucky having to deal with Andy anymore. It's Chucky not going after Andy anymore. But I don't know, man. I think it's okay if she's not in the franchise. I don't think Nev's wrong by any means. She, like I said, she is the Scream franchise, so if she feels like she's being disrespected in some way, shape, or form, then she has the right to feel that way, of course, and, they should, pay her. I don't know what her role would have been in Scream 6. I don't know if it would have been a glorified cameo like it was in Scream 5, or if she would have had a bigger thing to do in the film. I don't know. But as of right now, she's not in the film. Looks like they're going to move forward. They're going to start shooting, I believe, this summer. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there. Of course, most of the cast from the last film is returning. Most importantly, Jenna Ortega will be back. She was kind of one of the main characters there. Let's see if there's any more. Nope, that would be a spoiler. We're not going to talk too much spoilers right now. But we'll see what ends up happening with this film. And, of course, Hayden Panettiere is returning to her role from Scream 4. So can't wait to see what that entails. to see what she does. She was awesome in Scream 4, so I'm ready for that. No Neve Campbell for Scream 6 at the moment. We'll see if it stays that way, but I think this is more of a good thing than a bad thing for the Scream franchise as a whole. Let's see. Speaking of a good thing, no, scratch that. Speaking of a great thing, since the last time we talked, let me say it. Johnny Depp is a free man, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Depp won the case that we already knew. He won. Like, and there was a little bit of worry. I'm like, don't you do this, man. Don't you do this, court. We've already heard all the tapes. We've heard everything. Yeah, we know who the winner is here. And finally, justice was served as Johnny Depp was declared the winner. And he's back, baby. He's already out there. He's on tour with Jeff Beck. They're doing a freaking album. That's awesome. And now we've got this hot rumor flying around. There's already a rumor of Beetlejuice 2. I've talked about that a while back. We'll see if that happens. But the hottest rumor off the press right now is that a Disney Studios executive is talking Pirates of the Caribbean. And let me rephrase that. A former Walt Disney Studios executive told People magazine, quote, I absolutely believe, post-verdict, that Pirates is primed for rebooting with Johnny as Captain Jack back on board. There is just too much potential box office treasure for a beloved character deeply embedded in the Disney culture. Continuing with the fact that Jerry Bruckheimer is the producer, he goes on to quote, with producer Jerry Bruckheimer riding high off the massive success of Top Gun Maverick with Tom Cruise, there's a huge appetite for bringing back bankable Hollywood stars and massively popular franchises, the insider said. Now, an actual current spokesperson for Disney has not responded to People's request for comment. Now, that is a good point. Top Gun Maverick is still making a good amount of money. I think it made another $90 million in its second week. It's doing great business, which I love, man. It's one of those things I love when I get to sit back, like all these years. Huge Tom Cruise fan. All these people always talking crap about Tom Cruise. Look at him having one of the biggest movies out there right now. People are starting to talk about, Tom Cruise is great. He's one of the last remaining Hollywood movie actor stars out there and all that stuff. It's like, it's good to see good old Tom Cruise, TC, getting the love he deserves. So, Johnny Depp returning as Captain Jack Sparrow is an absolute. I don't know what role it would be. Of course, again, this is just a rumor, but we'll see what happens. Like I mentioned previous episodes before and a couple episodes recently, that there is the Margot Robbie movie, Pirates movie, that's being talked about. Margot hasn't fully confirmed anything with the film yet, but it's being talked about. So I don't know if Captain Jack Sparrow will find himself in a cameo role in that film, or if they'll continue the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, or even do some kind of reboot with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise with good old Johnny Depp back on board. But nonetheless, our man, Johnny Depp, is free, baby, and he looks so happy, and I'm so freaking happy for him, man. I love Johnny. He deserves this. He's a good dude, and he deserves this freedom and happiness, and it's good to see him back out there rocking on stage. I can't wait to see what movies he has coming for us, man. On the flip side here, with Amber Heard, apparently rumor has it that Warner Brothers has cut all of Amber Heard's scenes out of Aquaman 2. An official announcement should be coming soon. Now, again, this is just a rumor. This is nothing that has been confirmed. You will know it's been confirmed because you'll hear me yelling from the high heavens of happiness when this happens. Now, if this is not fully confirmed by Warner Brothers by the time the movie releases, I am not seeing it in theaters because I'm not running that risk. I will gladly wait till one of my friends or somebody else tells me, hey, went to see Aquaman 2. Amber Heard's not in it. And it's going to be one of those friends I trust, because you got some of your friends who will rib you, pull a joke ski on you and be like, I went to see the movie, she's not in it. Then you go see it and you're like, fuck, she's in it. Yeah. Not that. I'm going to wait for like confirmation that she's not in it. But listen, I'm done with her. Done with it. Like, I hate the fact I got to deal with her in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but thankfully it's just only for a little bit. Thankfully. But, get her out of Aquaman 2, I'll go see it. If she's in Aquaman 2, not seeing it. I've said that to me so many times, but this new rumor that's out there now, that especially with the verdict that has now been delivered, maybe some freaking justice finally being served for the wrongdoing that Warner Brothers did to Johnny Depp by removing him from Fantastic Beasts wrongly. Which, speaking of Warner Brothers and Fantastic Beasts, put Johnny back in the film. It's okay. You can do it. Grindelwald is able to change his look. It's okay. It's okay. You can do it. You can do it. It's okay. Nothing gets mad. He did great in that last movie. The last movie is really good. Go see it. I don't know what the hate's for. It's on HBO Max right now. Good movie. But yes, put Johnny back in the movie. And while you're at it, get Amber Heard out of freaking Aquaman 2. Okay? Okay. Now, speaking of DC, according to a report from the Hollywood Reporter, and I talked about this a while back, Warner Brothers Discovery is working on a uh, new new look to DC films, if you will. They're looking for someone to advise the work, much like a Kevin Feige does over there at Marvel. And apparently, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav has contacted Joker director Todd Phillips to work as the advisor for DC films. And this checks out because if you remember, I talked about how um, David Zaslav, probably getting his name wrong, sorry, dude, but talked about how with DC they want to work on their universe of films and as well have their standalone films. And one of the films they talked about was, of course, Todd Phillips' Joker film, which I do enjoy. I think it's a very well done movie and a very well put together movie. So I'm not against the idea of this happening. Now, I saw some other rumors about Zack Snyder being talked to as well to come back and do his universe, maybe on HBO Max somewhere. Again, without confirmation, this is all very much speculation and rumors. But cool, man. You know, I've said it before. I love DC films. I love the DC characters, and I don't need them to do a universe. You give me movies of DC, I'm gonna go see the freaking things. I'm even thinking about seeing the Pets movie. I don't know the name of it, but I'll see it. Right? So, whatever you need to do, do your thing over there. But everything I'm hearing about this new guy, this new CEO, he's doing great work. Warner Brothers is ramping up, trying to figure out what to do with their DC franchise as well as the Wizarding World franchise. So keep it going, man. Keep it going. Work on what you need to work with. The Flash is still on board. Ezra Miller, from everything I can tell, is still on board. They're figuring that all out. Flash movie said to be a new world for DC, which makes perfect sense if you ask me. So, of course, with the Flash, you can do all these things. We already know freaking Michael Keaton, my favorite Batman of all times, in the movie. And I'm into it, man. I can't wait to see where they end up going with everything. And, standalone movies, universe movies, whatever. If it's DC, I want it. Give it to me. I'm good to go. So, can't wait to check that out. Let's see. Christopher Landon, who recently did the very good movie called Freaky. The movie with, what's her name? Catherine Newton, right? Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. Kind of Freaky Friday horror movie deal. Very good movie, very enjoyable movie. Believe it's streaming on something. If I can find it, that'd be great. Freaky is on Hulu. It's also on HBO Max. Catherine Newton, yes, I got her name right. Good thinking me. Um, so yeah, Christopher Landon, who did that movie, did the what are the two Blumhouse movies? Happy Death Day, the Happy Death Day films. He is on board to write and direct an Arachnophobia remake. Now, Arachnophobia, that was a movie that came out back in 1990. It's a horror comedy that starred Jeff Daniels. You know him from, of course, Dumb and Dumber, and, obviously a lot of other roles. This movie was about a species of South American killer spiders who hitched a lift to the U.S. in a coffin, subsequently beginning to breed and kill within a small California town. Amblin is partnering with James Wan's Atomic Monster for this remake. Listen, all right. Listen, Arachnophobia getting a remake is fine. I have no problem with remakes. You've heard me say that plenty of times. I could care less about a movie being remade. It means nothing to the original. Arachnophobia messed me up, man. It is one of those films that to this day I'll still check under the toilet. There's no spider here, right? And sometimes when you get in the shower, you check the shower head, you're like, there's no spider there, right? Okay, cool. That's all because of Arachnophobia. Arachnophobia did that to me. Okay? And I haven't seen that movie since, and I don't want to see the movie. Okay? I don't want to go back and watch it. All right? So them remaking it, awesome, cool. I'll see it when you do the remake. I am not going into anything else with it right now. Okay. But anyways, Arachnophobia remake's coming. Again, Freaky was a very good movie. I'm iffy on the Happy Death Day movies. I know some of my Thrill Me podcast network brethrens enjoy the film. I need to go back and watch it. I didn't like the first one all that much. Second one, I think I was fine with because they acted like the comedy that it is. It seems like the first one was probably taking itself way too serious while still making fun of itself. I don't know. I need to go back and watch that movie. But there's something about that first movie I didn't like, and again, saw it the one time, haven't gone back to watch it. Second film, I was like, okay, whatever. So we'll see what happens there. But Freaky, I really enjoyed. So Arachnophobia could be a decent film. Let's see. We've got some casting news, some more casting news for Twisted Metal, Peacock's Twisted Metal series, based off the classic PlayStation video game. I've been talking about this a lot. Speaking of Neve Campbell, she's in this. So, Will Arnett and former WWE superstar Samoa Joe have been cast in the role of Sweet Tooth. You're saying to yourself, hey, wait a minute, that's two people playing one role. What's the deal there, revealed man? Well, they will be playing separate roles while playing the same role. Samoa Joe will be the body of Sweet Tooth, while Will Arnett will be the voice of Sweet Tooth. You're like, hey, review it, man. How does this work? Well, this will work because they're able to do the dual performance because Sweet Tooth has the clown mask that he wears. So you can hide it pretty well with some movie or series or Hollywood magic, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, cool. There you go. Samoa Joe, of course, lending his voice to the Suicide Squad game will be beginning next year. So that's cool. Good on Samoa Joe. Always liked him. He was fun on Up, Up, Down, Down. He's in the other wrestling company now that I will not mention. But whatever. Samoa Joe, congratulations to you. I saw a botch recently from that other wrestling company. I don't know how anybody can take that company serious, but hey, that's your choice. All right, let's see. Moving forward, Rachel Zegler, who I've become a fan of over the last couple months. I started paying a little more attention. I haven't seen the West Side Story yet. I started paying a little more attention to her, however, when she was snubbed from the Oscars, right? Well, she should have been there. She should have been invited. The West Side Story was there. She was in it. All that good stuff. Like, why was she not invited? And I was like, that's messed up, man. I'm going to start pulling for this Rachel Zegler girl. And since then, I've been like, cool, whatever she's doing, I'm interested in. And she is now set to star in a prequel to the Hunger Games called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The movie is being adapted from Susan Collins' 2020 book of the same name, which takes place decades before Katniss Everdeen's adventures in The Hunger Games. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes centers on Cornelius Snow, an ambitious boy who eventually becomes the tyrannical leader of the dystopian Panem. I haven't watched Hunger Games in a while, so if I mess up these names, sorry. Given Lucy Gray's vocal prowess, it is no surprise that Zegler was able to get the role, especially when she beat out thousands to star as Maria in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story remake. She is, of course, leading the lead role in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Zegler will, of course, be seen next in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, starring alongside Zachary Levi, and she has the Disney live-action Snow White movie coming as well. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes will be released in theaters on November 17th, 2023, and I will be seeing it. Now, my history with the Hunger Games is very much, I watched the movies when they came out, have not gone back to watch them since. That's not to say that the films weren't enjoyable. I did enjoy the films at the time, but it has not been calling me back at any point in time. Now, with that said, again, Rachel Zegler, I'm supporting her. I'm become a fan of hers. I will gladly see this movie, and it has the potential to be very interesting. And I haven't read the book, obviously, so I don't know what's going to happen story-wise, which I think is fun. A lot of people, it's like this thing when movies get turned, or when books get turned into movies. The person who read the books is like, man, you missed this. You should have done this. Would have been better if you did this, all that stuff, which is fine. That's your choice and everything. I get it. But for me, somebody who hasn't read the book, and I do the same thing with comic book movies. I haven't read the comic books, and I can enjoy it because I don't know what to expect. I haven't read the book. I don't know what's supposed to happen, and I think that's fine. I think it's cool. And again, Hollywood has its creative license to do what it wants with these stories. And again, with the comic books not being 100% accurate with the movies, and the movies doing what they want with it, cool, man. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. I have an open mind, okay? And so I'm interested in this Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Sounds like it could be a very interesting story. The article I read did have more detail, but I didn't want to go too much into it because, again, I don't want to know what's really going on here. I'm fine waiting until the movie comes out. And let's see, last bit of news here. Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be hitting Disney Plus on June 22nd. So just a couple weeks for you to enter the Multiverse of Madness. 5 days before my birthday, man. Cool. Good on them. Let's see. So that's going to be hitting Disney Plus on June 22nd. But what's hitting theaters and streaming this week? Ooh, look at that segue, man. Telling you, I'm on a roll this week. I'm on a roll. This ain't the it. This ain't it. I did Haunters Podcast Monday. I'm doing this show now. Guess what? Patreon episode. First episode. Zach and I are diving into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's called MRM, right? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But that's where we go through the Marvel films that have come out in order, and we're starting off with Iron Man. So wish me luck, because as you've heard, and if you're a new listener, guess what, guys and gals? I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay? So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. But that's going to be over on our Patreon, man. We've got a Patreon. Cool stuff going on over there, all right? Cool stuff going down over there, man. Check it out. Patreon, Thrill Me Podcast Network. So what is releasing this week? Well, the biggest movie of the week, the movie that I took a day off of work so I can go watch the double feature that's being put in the theaters, man. That's right. Jurassic World Dominion is releasing this week. Finally, been waiting for this movie to get here. It is rated PG-13. It is a mystery thriller action film. It's a Jurassic film. You know what you're getting into here. It's 2 hours and 26 minutes this summer. Experience the epic conclusion to the Jurassic era as two generations unite for the first time. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are joined by Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, and Sam Neill in Jurassic World Dominion, a bold, timely, and breathtaking new adventure that spans the globe. From Jurassic World architect and director Colin Trevorrow, Dominion takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Give me this movie. Love the Jurassic franchise, man. Love it. Love it. Again, yeah, that's hitting theaters this week, and I took off a day at work because as soon as I went on my Regal app and I saw that they were doing a double feature of the original Jurassic Park movie and then going into Jurassic World Dominion, you're like, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Why are they doing those two movies? The original three are returning, so it makes sense, all right? Jurassic Park is the first time we're seeing the three of them together in a film again. It makes sense, okay? I don't care. Anytime Jurassic Park is in theaters, I make sure I am in theaters seeing it. That's my all-time favorite movie. Love Jurassic Park to death. I always hear a story from my parents. Hey, I was freaked out one time when I was watching Jurassic Park in theaters. Maybe. I was a kid, okay? But Jurassic Park is my all-time favorite film. Love it to death. Never get tired of watching it. So yes, I will be back in theaters seeing that. And then Jurassic World Dominion right after it, babies. I can't freaking tell you how excited I am to see this film. It's one of my most anticipated films of the year. It's a movie that could be my favorite film of the year. I don't know. We'll see after I get done watching the movie. Actually, we won't see until the last week of December when I do my favorite films of 2022. Or maybe the first week of January when I do my favorite films of 2022. We'll figure it out when we get there. But right now, I'm super excited about this happening. This possible conclusion to the Jurassic franchise. You know, it's just a conclusion for now. A couple of years from now, we'll get another Jurassic film because they know banking at Universal knows how much it takes. You know what I'm saying? But for now, the end, the epic conclusion of the Jurassic franchise. So excited. Let's see what else is coming out this week. Technically, it came out last week, but it's hitting Netflix this week. Is Hustle? It's rated R drama, 1 hour 58 minutes. Stanley Sugarman, played by Adam Sandler. Stanley Sugarman's love for basketball is unparalleled, but the travel-weary Philadelphia 76ers scout, who has higher ambitions of being a coach, remains stuck on the road looking for the next unknown talent. His search around the world leads him to Spain when he discovers Bo Cruz, played by NBA player I will not know that name. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I cannot pronounce that name. I do not want to butcher it. Butcher it? Butcher it. Yeah. Butcher it. Jeez, I can't even say butcher. So how am I going to say that name? Is it Wanako? Wanako Hernagomez. Hernagomez. Yeah, I got that wrong for sure. Got that wrong for sure. But, anyways. His search around the world leads him to Spain when he discovers Bo Cruz, played by that NBA player, Wanako, an incredible street ball player with a troubled past. Stanley and Bo connect on and off the court with their passion for the game and as a loving family men who want to prove they can win in basketball and in life. With the support of Stanley's wife, Teresa, played by Queen Latifah. Heck yeah, dude. All hail the Queen. With the support of Stanley's wife, can the underdogs come out on top? Cool. It's on Netflix. I'll check it out. Hey, maybe it's on Flixit. That's my show that's coming to Patreon later this month. And then other thing, releasing this Miss Marvel. That's coming out this week. I have seen nada about this. I have not seen one advertisement about this whatsoever. Like every other Disney show, I've seen advertisements ad nauseum, but this show, I've seen nothing. Anyways, Miss Marvel is hitting Disney Plus this week. Kamala is a superhero fan with an imagination, particularly when it comes to Captain Marvel. Kamala feels like she doesn't fit in at school and sometimes even at home. That is until she gets superpowers like the heroes she is looked up to. I would say I'd watch the show, but I haven't finished Moon Knight. I'm not in any kind of hurry to finish Moon Knight. So, meh. Meh. We'll see. But that is releasing this week. If you're excited about it, cool, man. I'm glad you're excited about it. I don't know when or I will ever see it. I'm going to have to see it because you have to watch every Marvel thing so you understand the story that's going on. Yada, yada. Freaking Jesus. But anyways, Jurassic World Dominion is coming out this week. Who cares what else is coming out this week? Come on. Hey, come on. All right, you know you're going to see the dinosaurs tearing up cities. Because that, my friends, is what matters this week. That and the Wednesday Addams teaser trailer that came out, because nothing is topping those two things this week. But, speaking of, I don't even know that speaking of, that's the end of this episode. All right, we did it. We got through this episode, man. We'll see if I get through the Northman. Maybe I'll have an update next episode that I got an hour into it. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how things work out there. I'm not one to not finish a movie. It will be finished. When? I do not know, but it will happen. But as for this episode, it's done. We're done with this show. All right. We'll be back next episode. But as for now, and as always, I remind you that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.
Thank you for joining me this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get updates on all new episodes. As well, follow me on Twitter at review_it_Rob. Stay tuned for more adventures.